Okay, a question came in, and it's just really like a question of philosophy in a way, but what would I do differently now, knowing what I know, if I knew it then? And so that's going to be a pretty, I thought that was kind of an interesting topic for a video. Sonny agreed, so now here it is. We're going to cover that today. We'll see you in 12 seconds. Obviously, as I've covered elsewhere, I had to learn everything the hard way. This is me running into just brick wall after brick wall because I didn't know any contractors. This channel didn't exist. The website, Overseas Contractor Academy.com, that didn't exist. Nothing existed. The course didn't exist, obviously, and so there was no roadmap. And I didn't know anyone personally. And although there may have been in 2007, maybe there was 40 or 50,000 people working in the Middle East. I didn't know any of them. And so for me trying to get an overseas job, it was the circumstance where I just had a friend that came into town and was like, oh, I'm an overseas contractor. But he didn't know a damn thing. And so he literally only knew his job, his company, which was a very small company doing intel work. And so all I knew was that it was a possibility to go overseas and work. I did not know all the things that you have to learn the hard way. Contractors that were my friends helped me review the course. And all of them said the same thing, like, my God, I wish something like this existed when I first became a contractor, because all these little hints and all these little bits of information and these lessons learned, like, it makes it so much easier than having to keep running into those brick walls yourself. So, man, like, all of us kind of felt this way, like, they would say that to me, I'd be like, I know, right, So the first thing I would probably do differently after reflecting on this question for a little bit is, honestly, I would probably spend a little less time in conflict zones. It just happened that these were the jobs I was offered, and because the money was there, I kept taking them. And so I've done 4 different tours in Iraq, and two in Afghanistan. And so there's a certain way of life when you're living and working in a conflict zone where it's all routine and you're in this box and there's incoming fire and it's all just sort of this crazy kind of surreal lifestyle that is a mix of just, it's like living on the moon in a way, living in a moon colony or something with some element of danger mixed in or something. It's just a different world. And I think I spent too much time chasing the money and not enough time chasing the experiences that I could have had elsewhere. Another thing I would definitely do differently now is realizing the value of networking. And so I, of course, doing a contract cost and project oversight and all these kinds of positions that I've been in, is I've been in touch with like a lot of other contractors, and I've worked with a lot of other contractors and known a lot of people, and I just vastly underestimated the value of networking and staying in touch with those people and staying connected with the people. If it was through LinkedIn or Facebook or just emails, whatever it was, whenever you have friends out there that know of you, they know what you're capable of, and if you are, you got along with them well and you had a good attitude and you were willing to work and do the job, they'll call on you. They'll say, like, hey, if someone comes to them, hey, we need a guy who can do this. Oh, I worked with a guy in Iraq that he used to do that. He was pretty good. I mean, his personality would fit well with the team. Oh, okay, well, send him an email, see if he's available. There's a value to networking that I think I undervalued or didn't appreciate enough at the time. And so I've worked with a ton of contractors, and I've only really stayed in touch with a percentage of them. And don't get me wrong, the friends that I made are like good friends, and we're still friends and we still talk, but really I should have put in the effort to stay in touch with more of them, because it would have meant an expansion of the opportunities. There's a value to that, and I definitely underestimated that. And so I would stay more in touch. I think that would be another thing I would change if I knew kind of like now what I knew then. So, or if I knew then what I knew now. Oh, okay. So yeah, but if I knew then what I knew now, I would definitely stay more in touch with my friends and my acquaintances. One last little point, I would say temptation is a heck of a thing to deal with. And so one thing I would probably also do differently is a little less time off. And I think I just kind of, don't get me wrong, I love the contractor lifestyle. I love traveling and having all this time off. But man, there was, in all honesty, there was one point I literally took 2 years off just to travel and to explore Southeast Asia and different other places that I went to, Latin America and stuff. I just would travel. I just go somewhere and hang out, and you know, it was just place after place and trip after trip. And I would, you know, sometimes I would home base in one place, and then every month go, okay, go spend a week in that place and come back, and then spend a week in that place and come back, and then 2 weeks over there and come back. But the long story short, 2 straight years at one point, and of course, lots of times I've taken between 4 and 6 months off and just partied and hung out and traveled. And basically, you know, I enjoyed life, don't get me wrong. It's very rare, I think, for most people to have that long of a period of time off to just enjoy their lives and just kind of reflect and take it easy. You start seeing that money pile up in the bank and you realize the freedom that can create. And so that's kind of one thing as well. It's a great benefit of the contractor lifestyle is, man, being able to travel all over and having all the money to do that and make it all happen. But the downside is, like, I kind of could have been working for more of that time instead of taking all that time off. At any rate, yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. Hopefully we've kind of covered the things I would do differently, and we'll see you next time.